In a society that relies on law enforcement to maintain order and protect its citizens, the occurrence of true, disturbing police horror stories can shake the foundation of trust and accountability. These stories expose the darker aspects of policing, highlighting instances of misconduct, abuse of power, and systemic issues within the criminal justice system. By delving into these narratives, we can gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by communities and the urgent need for comprehensive police reform. In today's video, we will be showing you true disturbing police horror stories. Without further ado, let's begin. The Rampart Scandal, a corruption web unveiled. During the late 1990s, the Rampart Scandal in Los Angeles unveiled a web of corruption within the city's police force. Rampart Division officers engaged in a range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, planting evidence, and perjury. These revelations led to the dismissal of numerous convictions and a significant erosion of public trust in the Los Angeles Police Department. The scandal highlighted the importance of internal oversight mechanisms, ethical training, and the need to foster a culture of accountability within law enforcement agencies. The murder of Laquan McDonald, a shocking act of excessive force. The case of Laquan McDonald in Chicago, Illinois, exposed a shocking act of excessive force and a subsequent cover-up by the police. In 2014, Officer Jason Van Dyke shot and killed McDonald, a 17-year-old African-American, while he was walking away from the police. The initial police reports claimed that McDonald posed a threat, but dashcam footage contradicted these assertions. The incident triggered widespread protests, calling attention to racial bias, lack of transparency, and the urgency for police reform. The death of George Floyd, igniting a global movement. The tragic killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in 2020 became a catalyst for a global movement against police brutality and racial injustice. Officer Derek Chauvin's prolonged kneeling on Floyd's neck, captured on video, shocked the world. The incident not only exposed the excessive use of force but also highlighted the urgent need for comprehensive reform in areas such as police training, community engagement, and accountability mechanisms. It prompted discussions on defunding the police, reallocating resources to social services, and reimagining public safety. The ongoing issue of racial profiling, a widespread concern. Racial profiling continues to plague communities across the globe, raising serious concerns about discrimination and unequal treatment by law enforcement. Countless stories have emerged, documenting incidents where individuals are targeted, harassed, or subjected to violence solely based on their race. These narratives emphasize the critical importance of anti-bias training, increased diversity in law enforcement agencies, community-oriented policing approaches, and efforts to rebuild trust between marginalized communities and the police. The shooting of Tamir Rice, tragedy and questions of officer training. The shooting of 12-year-old Tamir Rice in Cleveland, Ohio, in 2014 highlighted the dangers of quick and lethal use of force by police officers. Tamir was playing with a toy gun in a park when officers arrived and shot him within seconds. The incident raised questions about officers' judgment, implicit bias, and the adequacy of training in handling situations involving potential threats. It underscored the need for de-escalation tactics, improved communication, and a thorough examination of how law enforcement interacts with youth. The Baltimore Gun Trace Task Force Scandal. In Baltimore, Maryland, the Gun Trace Task Force (GTTF) scandal unfolded, revealing a group of officers who used their positions to commit a wide range of crimes. From 2005 to 2017, members of the GTTF engaged in robberies, drug dealing, planting evidence, and falsifying reports. The scandal resulted in the dismissal of hundreds of convictions and a profound loss of trust in the Baltimore Police Department. This case highlighted the importance of robust internal affairs divisions and rigorous oversight to prevent such systemic corruption. The death of Freddie Gray. The death of Freddie Gray in Baltimore in 2015 shed light on the issue of police brutality and the mistreatment of individuals in police custody. Gray suffered a severe spinal cord injury while being transported in a police van, leading to his death. The incident sparked protests and unrest, bringing national attention to the need for improved protocols in handling detainees and ensuring their safety during transport. The Daniel Prude case. In 2020, the death of Daniel Prude in Rochester, New York, garnered widespread attention. Prude, a black man, was experiencing a mental health crisis when police officers responded to the scene. They placed a spit hood over his head, pressed his face into the ground, and restrained him. proved lost consciousness and was later pronounced brain dead, ultimately leading to his death. The case underscored the importance of crisis intervention training for officers and the need to prioritize mental health resources within law enforcement. The Philando Castile shooting. Philando Castile's shooting in Falcon Heights, Minnesota, in 2016 brought attention to the use of deadly force during routine traffic stops. Castile, a black man, was pulled over for a broken taillight. When he informed the officer that he had a legally registered firearm, the officer shot him multiple times, claiming he feared for his life. The incident, captured on Facebook Live by Castile's girlfriend, raised questions about implicit bias, de-escalation techniques, and a disproportionate targeting of minority communities during interactions with the police. The killing of Breonna Taylor. The case of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, in 2020 highlighted the dangers of no-knock warrants and the tragic consequences of flawed police operations. Taylor, an unarmed black woman, was shot multiple times by police officers during a raid on her apartment. The officers were executing a no-knock warrant in connection with a drug investigation, but no drugs were found on the premises. The incident sparked nationwide protests and called for a reevaluation of police tactics, warrant procedures, and the use of force. The Chicago police torture scandal. Between the 1970s and 1990s, Chicago police detective John Burge and his colleagues were involved in a horrific torture scandal. They systematically tortured suspects, predominantly African American, using methods such as electric shocks, suffocation, and physical abuse to extract confessions. The revelations of this scandal led to the dismissal of convictions and highlighted the urgent need for police accountability, improved interrogation techniques, and safeguards against abuse. The Abner Louima case. In 1997, Abner Louima, a Haitian immigrant, was brutally assaulted by officers at a Brooklyn police station in New York City. Louima was subjected to sexual assault and severe physical abuse, including the use of a broken broomstick. The case exposed a culture of brutality and misconduct within the police department, leading to the conviction of several officers and a call for extensive reforms to address systemic issues. These additional true, disturbing police horror stories demonstrate the urgent need for systemic change within law enforcement agencies. They remind us of the importance of holding police officers accountable for their actions, reevaluating training protocols, addressing implicit bias, and implementing comprehensive police reform. By learning from these stories and working towards a more just and equitable criminal justice system, we can strive to create safer and more inclusive communities for all. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.